Hi, I'm Sam Reece, and this is TalkGirl, the podcast where we do a deep dive into what it was like growing up as a tween in the early 2000s. You know, when Nick and Jessica were newlyweds, and every teen girl started her morning with a crisp can of Slim Fast. Can you hear it? Can you smell it? I can. Okay, we're gonna be getting into chicken soup for the soul, but before we do that, I have to introduce our guest. Okay. You may know her from her podcast, Glamorous Trash. You may know her from her best-selling memoir, I Shouldn't Be Telling You This. You may know her from her TV writing on Not Dead Yet and Girls 5 Eva. And you might also know her from her Emmy-nominated work on Apple TV's The Problem with Jon Stewart. You might, and you should, and you will. Please welcome Chelsea Devantez.
Thank you so much for having me, and thank you for imploring your listeners to look up my IMDb credits.
Let's get this fucking episode started.
And I've put every little tiny clip I can find into my hair because this is early aughts focused.
I'm just saying that.
And I was trying to recreate those like fun, messy, but little clippy styles and realized like I don't think I ever did it in the moment. And so
it's actually really hard.
It's really difficult because it just looks like shit, and it's supposed to look like shit, but
chic shit. And then you cover it in clips so you can't really tell.
Yeah, I did my best.
It looks great though.
Thank you so much.
Lizzie McGuire core.
Oh, thank you. And you have butterflies in your hair.
I do. I also went for the same thing. I went for the Chelsea high bun.
I love a high bun.
I said I didn't wash. She's a little ratty. We're going to throw in her bun and cover it in clips.
And she looks beautiful. Honestly, you look stunning.
Thank you. My hair weighs 100 pounds, so it's really hard to get her up there, you know?
Yeah, just really
You can relate. You can definitely relate.
Yeah, I get a crick in my neck when I do updos.
All right, I'm going to ask you some really fast facts just to get like a sense of who you were in the early 2000s. Quick.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
This is a podcast where if who you were is so traumatized, it's okay to share that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Absolutely. It's a safe space. You ready?
Yeah.
Low-rise jeans or juicy tracksuit?
Juicy tracksuit because the low-rise, if you had an ass.
Choker or charm necklace?
Oh, charm necklace because I had an inner witch in me always, and I needed little spells around my neck.
Burning your hair with a chi straightener or Hot Tools curling iron?
Oh, the straightener for sure. And I was just always just as straight as possible.
Burn it.
And then it was just singeing on all of the sun in that was drenching my hair daily. And when I ran out, actual lemon juice.
Yeah, well, we all had to be natural blondes.
We all had to be natural blondes, and that was something I strived for way too long. I can't believe I have hair left, given how blonde I tried to be.
Oh, I prayed to literal God every night for long, straight blonde hair.
It's
got on my
It's not
knees.
only painful that you wanted it, but that you thought God could and would do it.
Wow, we're going to talk a lot about God later, so hang on to your hat. Your little God hat. Tiny little baby tee or Abercrombie double polo?
Oh, polos I don't think look good when you have just giant old watermelons bopping around. So I could never pull off a polo. It added a bulk to the chest area that I didn't need.
I understand. Have you had big old watermelons since birth?
No. I was so cute. And then freshman year happened and my life was destroyed.
Year of the watermelon.
Yeah, year of the watermelons.
Kohl's Cash or Bed Bath & Beyond 20% off coupon?
Kohl's feels more in my spirit.
Let me do my podcast in a dressing room at Kohl's.
Okay, honestly, dream collab for you. Let's get that brand partnership going.
17 Magazine or Us Weekly?
Oh my gosh, well, always Us Weekly. And I'm that never left me. That is with me now today as a grown woman. Every week I read it on Instagram
I love it.
To force everyone else to read it as well.
Dawson's Creek or Laguna Beach?
We didn't have TV. We were too poor. Isn't that so
Great.
sad?
No TV.
But
the mall or a friend's finished basement?
Well, we grew up in really small towns, so always that basement. And honestly, just like an empty sand lot where a building used to be, we would rage.
That was actually my other option, was like the mall or like empty Taco Bell parking lot.
Yeah. Parking lot for sure.
I just want to know what you're up to. Like early 2000s, like 2003-ish. Like how old were you?
I'm a freshman for 2000. I'm a junior in 2002 and 2003.
Okay.
Yeah,
Graduated high school.
So I think I'm
2004.
16 or 17.
So you're like the peak age for experiencing all of the delights of the Y2K aesthetic.
Yeah, that shit smashed me in the face with a Playboy bunny sticker that you were trying to tan onto your body. I am so intensely defined by the Y2K years in that like everyone goes through traumatic things in life, but kind of like at what point that happens to you, it really congeals a part of your personality, especially if you're a comedian. Like part of your comedic personality will just like congeal in your worst years. And for sure, some of my absolute most brutal years are 2000 to 2005. My most intense trauma is like right next to like a little butterfly thong that's supposed to peek out the back of your pants, but it can't because your butt is big. You're not supposed to have a butt. Butts were not allowed. No butt.
No butt, no hip.
No butt. You were supposed to go from neck to ankles.
Pencil.
Nothing in between.
Yeah.
And I
know.
remember when J-Lo came on the scene, I was like, there's a woman who everyone says is hot, and she has a butt.
Wait, I have some J-Lo sunglasses here. Do you want to wear them?
Yeah. Yes. I feel better already.
Oh my God, these really complete the look.
Thank you so much. I feel better. This feels good.
Look at the hearts. Oh my God.
I like this.
I'll sell them to you for $2,500.
Okay, I'll give you 10.
Done. 2000 to 2005. Are you like doing comedy yet? What are you into? What are your hobbies?
So I'm sure you get this a lot. When you're a comedian, everyone always like, oh my God, when did you know you were funny? Like, when did you know you were hilarious? And I was like, oh, I just knew I was like fucking weird.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I revisited it as an adult, I was like, no, I was funny. There just wasn't a word for it in the early 2000s. If you lived in small towns, they were like, you're a freak.
I was always like, oh, it just takes me like 8 months to a year to be comfortable around somebody. And then I'll show you how freaky I am, I guess.
And then later you're like, wait, I'm talented. Who was I? I was in show choir.
Huge part of my life just for 8th grade. Purple sequin dresses.
Wouldn't you kill to have those on right now?
Yes. And at the time I was like, this is the ugliest things I've ever seen.
Of course.
And they have been the blueprint for my whole life. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, completely. I was a theater kid. I tried to do everything. I tried to do baton twirling. Again, it was a small town, so they'd be like, there's 3 of you. You should walk out on the football field, 3 of you, and like twirl your baton.
Throw it in the air.
And then one time this girl who would always say like, my mom says like, I'm going to bloom this summer. She was like really adamant, like she said it a lot. And then one time in practice, she threw her baton up and it just hit her in the head and she went unconscious. And then I quit because I was like, I'm not much better than her.
Oh my
so
God.
This is me.
Do you think she thinks about that every day of her life?
Yeah, because I don't think she bloomed.
No, well,
Not that summer.
if she was going to, the baton made sure she did not.
The baton made sure she didn't. So I quit that. I have a really crisp memory of the coolest girl in school. And because it was a town where there was only 100 people in the class, I want you to picture someone like kind of ugly. Like
everyone was ugly.
Everyone was ugly.
Yeah.
And I remember she was like, there was this sketch on the show called SNL. And I was like, awesome. And she described it to me. She was like, and it's like Tostito, burrito, what's coming out of your Speedo. And then like the cheerleader comes through the guy cheerleader's legs. And I rewrote the sketch to be about our school. And then I went and performed it based on hearing her tell me about an SNL sketch.
That's how good you are.
Honestly, I look back on that and I said, a talent. Yes. A talent, a dream.
What teacher wouldn't be like, hold on. You transcribed that from a girl's brain?
I'm sorry, she played a game of telephone and got some comedy out of it? Send her to Broadway.
Well, listen, is it not unlike you getting hired off a packet for Jon Stewart?
I mean, come on. Okay, thank you for knowing all my origin stories.
Yeah.
No, really. No, you're so right. That is exactly what it's like. But I really did not have words for it. I was just like, oh, okay, Sandra Bullock and Julia Roberts are our most hilarious comedians.
And they are.
I want to be them. And I was like, I guess I'll be an actress.
The only people I cared about were like Broadway people for too long.
Yeah.
My frame of reference for music, I thought I had like really good taste. I plugged in my iPod Nano at a party or something and someone was like, what the fuck is this stuff? And I'm like, yeah, no problem. I'll change it. To Billy Joel?
Billy Joel! Absolutely. I was like playing like the Sister Act soundtrack.
Ooh.
But then when I would get to school, I was like 3-6 Mafia has to play. So yes to them, but then at home it would be like Clay Aiken singing Bridge Over Troubled Water.
Oh, so good. What a classic.
I printed out a picture of him and Eminem and had them on my wall. So if you're wondering how I did with men for a decade, really badly.
There they are, yeah.
Eminem and Clay Aiken. I mean, what was wrong with me?
What's the thread there? Blonde?
I mean, one of them definitely not into women.
I actually have a lot of friends who Clay Aiken was like their first, like, I love him. And I think now
that makes
it's
me
like,
feel better because I'm like, what, like obviously everything is wrong with me. But when I look back on that, I'm like, what was happening?
Gentle and safe.
And I think he was because, you know, those are some of our best years for homophobia, which is wild considering the other years that we've had. But those ones were pretty intense, and I think he was really hiding that part of himself, and then also being kind. And it's like we'd never seen it before. We'd never seen a kind straight man.
Kind straight man, Clay Aiken.
You know, as you said in your intro, like Nick Lachey is like, why don't you buy groceries, Jessica Simpson, who's a famous fucking singer who can pay someone to do that, but for some reason you get off on her specifically doing it because she's your wife, you fucking loser. Go back and watch the episode. He's like, I'd like you to buy the groceries.
Yeah, I'd like to see you do Instacart, Nick.
I'd like to see you sing, motherfucker.
Okay, so we've got Clay Aiken and Eminem up on the wall. What else is going on in your room?
I was always working. So I was like the kid who was like managing your coffee order. And I remember saving enough to buy 3 items from Delia's. And I bought them in a manifesting size. I bought them in the size I wanted to be.
Well, that's how we did shopping then.
Of course. And so I actually never got to wear my floor length corduroy skirt.
No.
Because I bought it in a size that like was never going to happen. And like I tried to Atkins my way there, Zone my way there, South Beach my way there.
Of course.
And Bulimia my way there as we did. And so I never actually got to wear the Delias, but wow, I loved those. I loved those catalogs.
They were so cool. They're still so cool. The photography, the art direction, the models.
Are they back? What's going on with that?
Oh
brand?
Yeah, they're like part of Dolls Kill or something.
That makes sense because I fucking love Dolls Kill. Dolls Kill, also like Delia's, is like, we stopped making things at XL. It's like, you fuckers, I need this Renaissance crop top.
Money. Hello.
Come on.
And it's hard to find Delia's vintage anyway, even if you just wanted to like own it for fun. It's nowhere.
For like my dog. Oh my God. Would love to buy a crop top for my dog.
Or like one of those little t-shirts that would like expand when you put it on.
Yeah.
It's like little pointies.
That's right. That's right.
Imagine your new dog in that.
Oh my. Okay. My new dog is so big too. So that would actually be working out a lot of cathartic issues for me. If I could get the corduroy skirt on my new giant dog, that would really make a lot of things connect for me.
I think that would heal.
Thank you. I think that would heal too. Fuck therapy. Find me a corduroy Delia skirt on Poshmark.
Slide into our DMs if you find one.
If you got one.
I'll give you $1,000 for it.
Yeah.
So that's what I assume the resellers will sell it for.
Of course.
Obviously, big into reading now.
Yeah.
It's part of your
huge into reading then
thing.
As well.
Were you were?
Huge. Like anyone who loves reading. Saved my life. Like it's the thing that saves your life. The library saves your life. Magazines still hold a special spot in my life, and grocery stores and 7-Elevens, because those were my entry points to culture. Because we didn't have the internet. I lived in a small town which had a single movie theater during the summer on Saturdays. Through magazines and through like the reading rack at the grocery store was like how I like dreamt of a better life.
I love that. Oh, that's thanks. Really sweet.
It's definitely like why the books that you're about to talk about mean a lot to me.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Grocery stores loved them.
Besides Chicken Soup for the Soul, which we'll get to in a second, what books were like your favorites?
At that time, I think I had just come out of an era I am now realizing most of us had, which is we were all really into historical Holocaust fiction.
Okay, did you journal? Did you have a diary?
Yes. Okay. Freak.
So after reading The Diary of Anne Frank, did you believe that like it was inevitable that someone would read your diaries?
Oh, great point. I don't know, but I was like, my diaries are just as important.
Yeah. Like these are going to be part of history.
Yeah.
People are going to read these.
Yeah. Like it's what I'm doing is like the work.
But yeah, I loved Dear America. Do you remember those?
No.
It was historical fiction, and all of them were like, they had a little ribbon like it was a diary, and it was all different fake girls throughout history.
Oh, wow. I feel like I would have been really into that. Yeah, definitely like the American Girl doll books.
Yeah, of course.
I had to go with those.
Have you been to the cafe?
No.
Should we go?
Let's go. Let's go to a Kohl's dressing room and an American Girl cafe and live our best lives. We could never afford the dolls, but did I track down a magazine and send my photo in and ask to be a model? Yeah.
I I didn't even know you could do that.
You're having like jealousy for like and I mean, honestly, I never heard back, never was one, but I really thought like, hey, I should be an American Girl doll model.
Wait, that just unlocked a memory that there was an ad for the new Spy Kids movie in the newspaper in Smithville, New Jersey.
Okay.
And they were casting, and I was like, going to school the next day, like, I'm gonna be in Spy Kids. That's so crazy.
Spy Kid.
I'm gonna be in Spy Kids.
Did you ever hear the Leanne Rimes Blue playing on Disney with a little hotline that said, if you think you can sing it, call in?
No.
Leanne Rimes. Just kidding.
But it's such a core memory of mine because I think we were like on vacation where a TV would have been, and I was like, like over and over and over, being like, find me, discover me.
My God. No, I missed that one. I was stuck on the astigmatism twin commercial.
We're twins.
Do you remember them?
No.
Should we get into some chicken soup?
Yeah.
Chicken soup for the soul. What was the first one you ever had? Do you remember?
I don't, because I read every single one.
Okay.
These were my favorite books. I'm so intensely upset at how much I didn't realize was going into my brain and body that shouldn't have been in there. Like
100%.
these people should be sued and maybe murdered. I'm so upset. But yeah, no, I loved these books with my whole heart.
I'd say my overall reaction was, I'm going to get cancer and my parents are going to die in a car accident.
But are angels going to save them at the last second or what?
For everyone at home listening, did you know that it was started by male motivational speakers?
I know that now. At the time, I thought God wrote them.
Now there are over 275
That seems right.
and over 500 million copies sold. And then, do you know what happened in 2008?
I hope someone sued them and exposed them.
Close. They expanded into dog food. Thoughts?
Okay.
You gonna buy it?
No, because I already accidentally bought Katherine Heigl's dog food, and then I
Oh,
had to
yeah.
find out that was a scam. So like, I've been through a lot lately.
You might be happy to know that in 2024, they did file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy after acquiring Redbox. Chicken Soup for the Soul purchased Redbox in 2022.
Okay, I actually can kind of see this. Were they like, we're gonna put Christian faith-based films in these
That's
boxes?
what I think. I think they were probably trying to make a whole production company.
Absolutely.
To turn all of these fucking little stories into little plays.
Which actually should have worked. Like, we know that
Right.
God doesn't love them, because that business plan was right. You had 270 screenplays, IP content in your hands for faith-based content
for the next 500
you
years.
owned Redbox and you still got bankrupt. Like, that's God doesn't love you, or that's a devil at work.
I have to agree. Chicken Soup for the Soul's going to hell. Well, okay, so you have
Okay.
Chicken Soup for the
I don't know how
Christian
I
soul.
got this, but for some reason I thought you and your team wanted me to buy Chicken Soup for the Christian teenage soul, which honestly I was like, that's nice that no, actually, you know what? I'm mad again. I didn't realize they were Christian-based books. I thought they were real stories.
Yep.
About psychological cosmic events that let me know that I could manifest my way out of our troubled household. And so to have a book where they're like, and this one's for the Christian teenage soul, I'm like, you liars. They're all for the Christian teenage soul.
They're all for Christians,
Even if
yeah.
you were an atheist like me, I was reading we were reading propaganda.
Yes. The note I wrote was Boomer AI.
That's right. But I have to say, like, in the back of the book, it has these like permissions. And it's like Walking by Faith, reprinted from Corinne, Daddy's Miracle.
Oh yeah.
my
permissions.
God.
Did you reread that whole thing or read that? Or just kind of flip around?
No, because I've discovered something I didn't have in the early aughts, which is called self-esteem.
everything is like, you're a bad kid and it feels like it's all written from the parents' perspective.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I wrote, if you're not a good girl, you'll get cancer and your parents will die after you have a fight. That's sort of how I would sum up this whole
I think
book.
it's a really good summary. Like, if you like didn't believe in God, that was like fucking crazy, at least in a small town in 2001. So it just struck me as it was all truth, you know, which is why a story called Daddy's Miracle didn't raise any red flags.
Like, there's this one called the Bible. Should I just read it? It's very
Yes.
short. Okay. It says, a young man from a wealthy family was about to graduate from high school. It was the custom in that affluent neighborhood for the parents to give the graduate an automobile, What year is this person from? That's also what
Right,
I want to know.
Yeah, automobile.
Bill and his father had spent many months looking at cars, and the week before graduation, they found the perfect car. Bill was certain that the car would be on his graduation night. Imagine his disappointment when on the eve of his graduation, Bill's father handed him a gift-wrapped Bible. Bill was so angry he threw the Bible down and stormed out of the house. He and his father never saw each other again. It was the news of his father's death that brought Bill home again. As he sat one night going through his father's possessions that he was to inherit, he came across the Bible his father had given him. He brushed away the dust and opened it to find a cashier's check dated the day of the graduation in the exact amount of the car they had chosen. What's the lesson? Just be nice to your dad? Take the Bible?
Take the Bible. Take the Bible. Well, here's also the lesson. So they never spoke again. Let's say years passed because it's his father's death, but it doesn't sound like a young death. It sounds like they spent, 40 years not speaking. The father wasn't like, hey, you little prick, there was a check in here, you selfish bitch, read the Bible.
Open it up.
Open it up, asshole. Or ring, ring, ring. Guess what? I did give you the check. Rip, rip, rip. Should have read the Bible.
To that dad, he was like, okay, I'll never see you again. That's
Dad
fine
was just
with
like,
me.
all right, fuck off. Have a nice life.
And then he's going to dust it off 40 years later and be like, there's my $1,000 for
Also, it's a cashier's check, which means all that money went to the bank or the 7-Eleven where you got that cashier's check. Like the dad didn't even have the money. Like, why'd it have to be a cashier's check?
So specific.
So specific. Also, they're just saying the car.
The car, not a type of car. Like, yeah, like if you were an English teacher, how would you know this story?
I would be like, obviously this should be a Toyota Tacoma because there's a boy in this story and the year is 2002 and that is the dream car.
And it's the wealthy car.
Did you believe in self-help? Rich Dad, Poor Dad?
The closest I would get is maybe like the For Dummies series. I thought those were so funny.
Wait, the how-to books?
Yeah.
That they were funny?
I thought
ones that are
the concept of it was funny.
Oh, okay.
I don't
even those books are literally like, here's how you fix a sink for dummies.
I know.
And then they legitimately tell you.
I know. But no, I was just like reading my Gossip Girl books, Chicken Soup for the Soul, assuming that everybody's going to die of cancer.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
But I'm going to write in my diary about it, which will be published, that I will be a professional cheerleader. That was like kind of what I thought my life was going to be.
I will say, like, you are living the tether life to that. Like, you are in a parallel universe of all those wants. Like, you might not be a professional cheerleader, but you are in like a really glittery, puffy sleeved, beautiful gown. Right?
I do make pom-poms.
You did read your journals out loud. They were up, like, you do have a published book.
It's true.
Come on. And you've still got Chicken Soup for the Soul in your hand.
Dead at 17.
I remember all of the Christian Soup books like that, where it'd be like, there was a car accident, but there was a dog who came and pulled the mom out of the car so she lived. But when she describes the dog, no one in town had ever seen a dog like that.
That's so funny that your takeaway was like, they get saved. There's a hero.
Yeah,
and I'm like, everybody dies and there's no lesson.
Oh my God. I was like, if you manifest hard enough, like, your stepdad will stop hitting your mom.
And I was just like mesmerized by the trauma. I do want to play a little game.
Yes, I would love a little game.
Called Real or Fake, Chicken Soup for the Soul titles. So I'm going to read out a title and you're going to tell me if you think it's a real one or a fake one.
Okay.
Chicken Soup for the Dieter's Soul.
Real.
Correct. Chicken Soup for the Mormon Mom.
Fake.
Correct. You're like, I've read all of them, I know. Chicken Soup for the Chiropractic Soul.
Ooh, that's tough because Chicken Soup loves its pseudoscience. But I'm going to say fake.
It's real. So if you're a chiropractor.
Wow.
Chicken Soup for the Soul, Dogs, Jesus, and Soup.
Please be fake.
It is fake. But imagine.
I can.
Little dog, little Jesus, little soup.
Why not?
Chicken Soup for the Soul, woman to woman.
No, I don't think they'd let a woman write this book, so not fake.
It is real.
Wow.
Yeah.
But did Jack Canfield write it?
Probably, in a wig.
Yeah, I know. He's like, woman to woman, right?
What's the difference? Chicken Soup from the Soul, What I Learned from the Dog.
That feels fake, but it's such a bad title. I want it. I'm sorry. It feels real, where it's like lessons from my dog. But since it's What I Learned from a Dog, that's really poorly written. Okay, real.
Real.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chicken Soup for the Soul, Just Us Girls.
Fake. Stop.
Chicken Soup for the Soul, Hooked on Hockey.
Fake. Come on. Hooked on Hockey?
Hooked on Hockey.
It's not Stories from the Game?
No.
Okay.
Hooked. on hockey. Have you gotten into hockey romance novels?
It's not something I'd like to be a part of, but
Chicken Soup for the Soul, 101 Stories of Christmas in Canada.
fake.
Real.
Okay, I'm giving up. Or the rest of them. Okay, keep going.
Chicken Soup for the Soul, Women in a Man's World.
Fake. Fake. That acknowledges feminism, so it's fake.
Chicken Soup for the Chocolate Lover's Soul.
Real.
I would love to read that one. What
I think
would
I
that be
did.
about?
I'm positive I read that one.
What is that?
I'm not sure, but I definitely was like, yummy, me on Atkins. I'm not allowed to have chocolate. Let's read this book.
I love the movie Chocolat.
Oh boy.
Chicken Soup for the Dental Soul.
Dental soul?
Mm-hmm.
It needs to be fake because it makes no fucking sense, but guessing by what you've done to me, real.
It's real and we can buy it.
The dental soul.
Dental.
I can't.
For dentists.
I fucking can't.
I'm assuming.
Okay.
Yeah. Only 4 of those were fake.
The Canada one got me because I was like, why do we have to have Canada and the Christmas soul, the Canadian soul, yes, but it was like the Christmas Canadian soul.
I think they probably ran out of ideas and just started combining.
Yeah.
I'm surprised there's not like the Canadian chocolate lover's soul.
Yeah, now I'm realizing like that would be right. Yeah.
If you were gonna write one, what would your soul be?
What year of my life is it? Me now or is it me in the past?
You know.
Me now. I'm gonna write chicken soup. Okay. I'm gonna write chicken soup for the socialism, trauma therapy, TV writer, exhausted, you fucking quit, but have a new dog soul.
Wow, pretty generic.
Really generic. What's yours? Honestly, just as niche as Christmas in Canada. I feel like I could find just as many people who are fucking traumatized, maybe into socialism, definitely into therapy, have a new dog, are too tired to do anything, as there are people in Canada who like Christmas.
I would pick that up.
Thank you.
I would be like, it's close enough.
Close enough. All right, what's yours?
Chicken soup for the late in life ADHD diagnosed woman who can't change her life in 24 hours, even though she thinks she should be changing it. Soul.
I would also read that. This is pretty good. Do we get the rights? They're bankrupt.
They're bankrupt. I think they're still accepting stories, though. I think you can submit on their website, and I think you get like $30 if they choose it.
$30?
I think it's something like that. So they have some cash.
This is 2025. Let's get some fucking stories going here.
Yeah, I wonder if there's been one published this year.
ChatGPT, and I am happy to pop that shit out and send it to
Oh
them.
my God.
Come on.
I wonder if you asked her what she would put together. I think it would be about car crashes and cancer and your parents dying, to me.
And for me, it would be, if you believe, an angel through the form of a dog will pull you from the car crash.
If you believe.
That was a duet I did in middle
hope
school.
is frail. Yeah, who didn't we do it with
It's
sign
hard
language?
to kill. Were you Mariah or Whitney?
Hard to kill. Whoever does the lower one.
Sure. So you were Whitney.
Yes.
Because weirdly, Mariah has a higher range than Whitney, and no one has a higher range than Whitney. I think it's just Mariah.
It's almost like just Mariah wants the higher part and Whitney can do anything.
Yes.
I think is probably the answer.
I think that's right. There can be miracles.
Miracles.
When you believe.
When you believe.
Though hope. Oh my God, you really did do Whitney and I did Mariah. Yeah. Though hope is fair, it's hard to kill.
Hard to kill.
Yes. I could do this your whole podcast. Who knows what miracles you can achieve.
It's really just repeating a lot of it.
It's really the girl in the shadow. Being
Yeah.
like, me too, girl.
Well, if you, Chelsea now, had advice for Chelsea then, what would you say?
I love this question because there's two answers. One, there's like the real advice, but Chelsea then ain't gonna listen. She's gonna rob you. She's gonna steal lip gloss from you and run away, and go to church and date a piece of shit who looks like Clay Aiken. I want to try and think of like what advice could I give that version of me would have listened to.
I have an idea.
Oh, tell me.
Size up at Delia's.
Oh, see, but she wouldn't listen. She'd been like, no, I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna
Shit.
make it. I'm gonna eat string cheese every meal of the day.
String cheese diet, yeah.
I think what I could have told her at that point is, if you emancipate yourself and move away, you'll become famous. I mean, then I think she could have gotten herself out.
Hack.
Mm-hmm. But if me now is giving like real beautiful advice, it would be being likable is an impossible prison it's never gonna happen. It's not gonna happen for anyone. And the girl who you think is likable, she's also suffering.
Chicken soup for the people pleaser soul.
Chicken soup for the people pleaser, codependent, PTSD soul, CPTSD soul.
Sold. Well, thank you so much for being on this pod in this weird little room. Do you have anything you want to plug? Where can people find you? What's going on?
Listen, you can find me recapping an Us Weekly every single week. We really look at the outfits. We play the outfit game, which was my favorite game growing up. And I also go through the 25 things at the end and any relevant news items, which is usually absolutely none because that is a piece of shit magazine that has only gone downhill. Find me there on Instagram at Chelsea Devantez. I also recap the books we read on my podcast, which are celebrity memoirs. It's called Glamorous Trash.
It's so good.
Thank you so much. We really try and do, yes, it's celebrity memoirs, but it's really just about like cultural trauma via our most famous women and how to like unpack that and also get some fun gossip about Ashton Culture. Ashton Culture. Should that be my drag king?
Hi, I'm Ashton Culture. Yes.
Oh my God. That's a good one.
With a K.
With a K. Ashton Culture? Come on. Is this a store we start? Is it a show we do?
I don't know. I'm
like,
freaking out.
I'm freaking out. Get Jack Canfield on the line.
Jack.
So yeah, Chelsea Devantez, Glamorous Trash. You can find me all the places.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Lilas, Kit, Hags, BFF, AE, AE. See you later. Bye.
Lols.
Lols.